Good morning, guys. How are you? I hope you all are doing well. How was your spring break? I hope it went well. And you have to keep washing your hands and have to stay safe, stay home. I'm getting back to our lesson. Today we are doing Unit 12 Sound. Now, I had posted one video earlier. I hope you guys have seen that as well. But let's discuss in our own terms. So if I say sound, what is the first thing that comes up to your mind? For example, like right now you can't see me, but you can hear me. So this is sound. And over here I'm recording it for you guys to listen to it. So sound and my sound is getting into my phone and is being recorded into my phone and you can hear it now. And sound travel from one place to another. For example, if I'm sitting in one corner of the classroom and you're sitting at the other, I'll call you and you can hear your name. Why? Because sound travel from one place to another. Let's start. See, as the first line says, sound travel from one place to the other. If someone is playing a musical instrument in one part of a room, the sound that they are producing will travel through the air and be heard by the person in the different part of room. Like I said, if I call out your name in the class or if something fall off, you can hear it. See this boy is playing guitar and everybody can listen to him. Okay, now the other question, how do we hear sounds? For example, okay, the sound is produced like I'm talking, but how in the world are you able to hear me? You know what? When we are talking, it's not just the words coming out of our mouth. When the words or when the sound is coming out from the instrument, they are they are colliding with the air around us. Air is always around us, and we have discussed that we can feel the air when we are running or walking, but the air is still. It is around us, but when we are talking, the air particle around us are getting pushed by those words, and they're uh, colliding with each other. And you know what? They are vibrating. Those air particles are vibrating, and then because of those vibrations we are hearing the sound, and the sound is being produced. So look over here what they say. Vibrations are steady movements. They are much like the ring of waves created when you throw a stone in a pond. For example, if you went to a beach, or if you went to seaside somewhere, or if you went to a small pond as well, if you throw a stone, you will see there are ripples around. And you know why the ripples cause? Because of the impact of the stone. In the same way, when we are talking, the air around us is getting the same kind of ripple, and that's why it is moving. Sound are vibrations that travel through the air or even through water. For example, if somebody for the divers they go underwater, you can still hear them because the sound travels through water as well. The only medium which sound cannot travel is vacuum. If we go in space, we will not be able to hear each other because sound does not travel in a vacuum. When these vibrations reach our ear starts to vibrate in the same way. Okay, that would be a long discussion, but just for a for your quick information, I'll tell you that there is a drum in our ear. We call it eardrum. When the sound enter into our ear canal, that drum starts to vibrate, and then that vibration sends a message to our brain, and our brain tell us what we are listening to. This the Okay, and our ear starts to vibrate in the same way. This let us hear the sound. Sound cannot be seen or held. For example, like water, we can hold a glass of water, but we cannot hold the water itself. In the same way, the sound cannot be seen or held. For example, when I'm talking, you cannot see the sound coming out, you can only hear it, or you cannot hold my sound as well. Instead, it is heard. Sound travel in the form of waves. If you look over here, there are the waves. Can you see these waves? Different sound form different type of waves. For example, if I'm talking lightly, you will hear low sound, and the waves will be something like this, because I'm talking politely and softly. But if I'm yelling or talking loudly, you will hear a high pitched sound, something like this. So different sound travel in waves. So different sound forms different type of waves. Low sound forms the waves that have large gap. For example, if you look over here, they have a large gap between them, right? High sound have waves that have smaller gaps. Look over here, they have smaller gaps over here. These are lower pitch sounds, like when we are talking lightly. These are those sounds. When we are yelling or screaming or cheering, we are producing higher pitch sounds. Pitch is the volume, like you are talking in a higher volume or in a lower volume, okay? Let's look over here, the activity. Sound waves. Take a bowl and cover it with cling. We all have cling at our home. Pull it very lightly from all sides. You have to secure it. You have to put it really nicely with a rubber band. It should be very tight and smooth. Don't take a big ball, take a small ball like the one we eat our cereal in. So just take a small ball. And now sprinkle some pepper onto the plastic. You know the cling sheet, on the top of that cling sheet you have to put a pepper, a small amount of pepper. It can be red, or don't put the red pepper, just put the black pepper, because red is very dangerous for our eyes as well. And make some noise. Uh, and the noise should be near about the bowl. You can bang a spoon on the metal pot, and you know what surprise it will be? The loud noise you made is a vibration. The sound that you would made would be a vibration, and it will travel through the air to the plastic and make the pepper dance on the top of the bowl. The vibration of sounds are picked by our ears, and you know those vibrations are picked by our the 2 ears that we got. The vibration travel through our ears. At this stage, they are still vibrations. They are not sound that we can hear. It is our brain that turns a vibration into sound that we recognize. I just told you that there is in our ear canal there is a drum, and that vibrations go on over them, and the drum starts to beat, and that sends a message to our brain. That's it. Now turn to the second example. Take a metal coat hanger. I'm sure your father might have a good coat hanger. You can borrow it for a while, and a piece of string, but don't break that hanger, okay? Tie the end of the strings to each corner of the hanger. Then loop about 6 centimeters of a string and around one index finger, and the same length of the string around the other index finger. This is your index finger, the big finger. The first finger is your index finger. Can you see my hand? This is index finger. So around the index finger, put your fingers in your ears and ask someone to bang the hanger against the table. Now you are covering your ears with those bands. The sound wave from the vibrating hammer travel through the string into your ear. Try this with a metal spoon too, and see if there is a difference in sound. Or you can do one fun activity. Take 2 paper cups and a string. Make sure it's not a plastic string. It should be a simple thread. It can be a thread, but it should be a thick thread, because otherwise a thin thread will definitely break uh, if you stretch it. So poke a little hole at the bottom of each glass. Take only two paper cups, and poke a hole into each paper cup, and tie the string from one paper cup to the other. And now it should be long enough so that two people can stand apart. Now give one to your brother, sister, whoever you want to talk, and tell them to put it on their ear, and on from the other cup you guys talk. They will definitely listen your voice. And now it's their turn to talk. Let them talk and you put the cup on your ear, and you will get to listen to the voice. Now try this. If you go to a music concert, don't go in these days, but when things will get well, inshallah, you can go. Try sitting very close to the loudspeaker. Like, for example, when we are going to some weddings and we sit near to the loudspeaker, that's a real headache, guys. Then move back, and because the sound is too loud for us to bear, then move back and sit at some distance. Later, go and sit in the last row. Did you notice any difference in the loudness? Obviously, guys, when you're sitting next to it, you will definitely start having a headache in a while. Then when you move back, you will be quite fine with the amount of sound coming to your ear. But when you go at the end of the hall or at the end of the concert room, definitely the sound will get too low to, and if you go out, definitely it will disappear. Now what I want you guys to do is, I want you guys to try answering these questions. Draw a sound wave of very low sound. Very low sound. The lower pitch, I told you, it would be something like this, with the long gaps in between. Now, this is a low sound. Low sound. Now, draw a sound wave of a very high sound, like, hey guys, can you listen to me? A very high. So it will be like this. So this is high sound. Now draw a sound wave of medium sound. Not very high, not very low, just a medium. And it would be something like this. I'm drawing the medium over here like this. It will not have very big gaps, and it will not. So this will be a medium sound, like the way we should talk. Okay, so now question number 4 says circle the correct answer. Sound can be seen. Can we see the sound? Heard? Definitely we can hear the sound. Touched? Can we? No. So the answer is just the heard. Now, sound. Walk, fly, travel from one place to another. Have you ever seen sound walking? I'm sure not. Flying, it's a sound, guys, not a bird. So definitely it travels. Now see, low sound have a larger gap or smaller gap between each wave. Obviously I told you, low sound has large gap. They have big gap in between. Look, they have big gaps. So look, because they are too low, so they have big gaps. They have larger gaps. Okay. Now I hope you guys are studying, and we do miss you a lot, and we hope to see you guys very soon. Now take a very good care of yourselves and do study. Okay? See you. Bye.